Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a client reading. This is for somebody who started out as one of my Divine Light Cleanse clients and was, so happy with what she was going through. Had considered purchasing one for the Divine Masculine, and then decided, well, you know what? Let me get a little reading first. See what's going on there, and then determine whether or not I'll additionally purchase a cleanse for him or not. So that's what we're doing. And I'm going to begin with hashtag creepy deck and fair male. So the Divine Masculine himself may be a fair male, or there may be this energy that I tend to feel like karmic surrounding the union, or both. This card could be showing up for both reasons. Opening up to spiritual growth. So here I'm going to first look at and connect with the masculine's higher self and see his feelings on the present situation. Spiritual growth. And open relationship, which people look at and they go, oh boy, open relationship, like I'm not into that. To me, it's not a scary card, because if you're in a divine union and you haven't come into the full and complete union, which I say all the time, no one has, even those of us that are married, legally married in 3D, we go through different bouts of and variations, varying degrees of separation. So in the meantime, we are basically like in an open relationship, because during those periods we do our own thing. That doesn't necessarily mean sexually or, intimate in any way with another person. That's not what I mean. But it is unlike what most of us are used to in a traditional relationship. That when that distance is put up between us, it's like moments of being single is the best way to describe it to anybody who has never experienced ascended relationships. So, until we've help the universe to co-create our situation and it's finalized, it's an open relationship. But also to the positive, when I come to this card, I often feel it as a relationship that one or both want to be in the open, as in public. They're tired of hiding the relationship. And that certainly can come with spiritual growth. Both of those understandings can come with spiritual growth. Because when we're stuck in 3D, we won't get it. We won't be able to tolerate some of the things we tolerate in ascended relationships, etc. And that in itself is a gift. That could be why gift is showing up here now, opposite the spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is in fact a gift. It's a blessing. And there's some similarity here with these cards too. With this, what's coming out of the box here, what's emerging from the box, and what's emerging from this person's soul. Very similar. Spiritual growth. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Nope, that doesn't want to be picked up yet, and so I'll get it now. Communication. Today there is a trine, actually, the day on which I'm doing this reading, which is the 12th of September. There's a trine between Venus, which rules Taurus, Gemini, and Libra, and Saturn, which rules Capricorn. So I'd say that particularly between air and earth signs, there could be communication, but there could be communication with anybody. This is showing up in your reading, however, indicating that there should be communication happening for you in the near future if it hasn't already. Better communication, increased communication. And I just opened up the cards again. I'm not really sure why, but I was moved to, and I opened it to soulmate. Overall energy is travel And this can have to do with physical movement, and perhaps specifically travel. It can have to do with metaphoric movement in a relationship. And also, it's been coming up connected to these retrogrades for me, because it looked to me, it looks like the plane is not traveling backward as in it's moving backward, but, you know, it's going, doesn't appear to be going forward. Like the travel is from right to left as opposed to left to right. And that's sort of like what the planets are doing, those that have gone, and other celestial bodies that have gone into retrograde. In any case, this is definitely a card of movement. The masculine with relation to the feminine right now. I'm sorry, the feminine with relation to herself. The masculine with relation to the feminine. And with the masculine with relation to himself. And to the union. I paused because I thought for a moment to do the other spread from the universe's perspective, but I already, said to you that I was going to do the masculine, so I went ahead and did it. Overall, the outcome, what the masculine would have the feminine do or surrender, or in other words, like contribute to helping to move things along. What he is willing to do is surrender himself to that end, and what the universe would have the two of you to do. Gossip. And this is the feminine, her feeling that there are people, and actually that's why she came to me for divine cleanse. So I shouldn't be surprised to see this, and she shouldn't either. Not necessarily that people were gossiping about her, but that there had been some potential hexes, even generational curses and things of that nature, placed upon her and or her divine masculine in their union. And so this is coming through from her higher self, this sort of betrayal and backstabbing and possibly gossip, and maybe even like people attempting to curse her, so to speak. The masculine with relation to the feminine, mature woman. So he likes what he sees. He's impressed with her and her stature. And with regard to himself, mature man. So he sees the playing field sort of even. This card often comes to me representing fire sign males. I don't know why. And I haven't seen any evidence that anybody is a fire sign, but it does come up that way. Actually, not only fire sign, the other like mature signs too. I often see this card. Scorpio and maybe Capricorn too. Anyway, he feels that they're in the same place with in that regard, maturity level, and all of that. And the union. Oh, it's a blessing. It in itself is a blessing and leads to spiritual growth that we were looking at before. Overall, past life. There's a past life circumstance or set of circumstances, situations affecting the union. And maybe it does have something to do with outside, external forces that are, speaking negativity or wishing negativity upon one or both parties in this relationship. That can be. What can the feminine do to help to improve the situation? She's connected to the triangle, which sits here underneath the gossip. She's the direct connection to this negativity. So that's something that she is going to have to work on. What can she do? Well, what she's begun to do already. She's, like I said, she's purchased her first healing from me. I can't necessarily speak to what else, if anything, she's doing, but she started the process, at least in that regard, to healing whatever this is. And some friends may begin to drop off. Some people might not be friends at all, actually. Frenemies showing up here. From past life, like this is not your first time, knowing these people. They might not have been the same people, or held the same position in your life. They may not have played the same role. Somebody that's a friend now could have been your brother in the past life, or anybody else. That's just to give you an example. And then there's something from the past that you continue to carry that ultimately has to be fixed now in this lifetime. What about the masculine? Soulmate. He may have a quote-unquote karmic soulmate, and that may be why I began again with that energy of fair male, which tends to represent that for me, that karmic energy. In addition to, there's a brunette female that I get a bad feeling from too, with these cards. So he may have a karmic soulmate from a past life, possibly romantic, but not necessarily, that is also in the way. Soulmates can be, again, to use brother as an example, our family members, our children even, can be a type of soulmate. What would the universe have the two of you to do and or surrender toward the union? Have some fun. Be more social. Get together more often. Together and also in your individual lives. Spending time with real friends and family and or doing what makes you happy will help your situation. Maybe perhaps raise your vibration, the happiness spreading throughout you. And what's the outcome here? Oh, dating. So certainly the two of you should get together as, in addition to other people that you incorporate into fun times. But again, watch out. Some people are not really your friends, and I sense that they will begin to fall off, particularly since you are going through the cleanse right now. Those karmic ties with people with whom they need to be cut begin to be cut, and those people will fall off, or the dynamic will change. The energy will shift between you from what is negative and begin to heal into something more positive. And that could lead to you, sort of falling away from one another. All right, I'm going to go on to another spread. This, I hope, was helpful to you. It was helpful to me. It gave me it sort of illustrated what you told me yesterday. To those of you who are watching, additionally to the client, she asked me yesterday if she needed to tell me anything about the union. I said, or her circumstance in general. And I said, no, of course not. If you wish, I welcome it. You may, I'm not turning down people's stories or information or whatever. It's just not required. I don't, quote unquote, need it in order to do my job. But it was interesting to see sort of what she described to me yesterday play out on the table just now. Okay, so with the Angel Tarot, I'm going to begin with the Two of Earth. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. And that may be something. That may be why Fun Times showed up for you guys. Both of you guys are, mature man and mature woman, at least right now. And so maybe you both need to Have a little more fun, be a little more social, and act a little bit more youthful. I'm not saying necessarily silly and or immature with one another, but like take it down a notch, not so uptight. More playful approach. Additionally, this can have to do with the need to make a decision. And for me, I'm not necessarily feeling it all that strongly right now, but in general, this card for me means or tends to represent deja vu from hell. When I see the Two of Earth, I'm like, oh no, like because it represents to me like going around on a wheel like a hamster, like we're in the same place, we never progress. And I'm really not a fan in general of the Two of Earth, although most people tend to like cards like this and twos in general, because twos are about partnership and faith and duality and, so like getting things done. All right. Opening to the Emperor with Archangel Michael. I said I was feeling a fire sign before. Maybe there is one involved, Sun, Moon, or Rising. The Emperor represents, for me, the planet Mars, and in general, with regard to the tarot, the sign of Aries or other fire sign. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. Two of Earth. And the Queen of Air, independent, experience, realistic, and witty is the Queen of Air. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or somebody taking on a lot of those traits. And she is known for cutting out what does not work in her life. She will do it herself. She's independent. She will do everything herself if she has to. That doesn't mean she necessarily wants to, but if stuff not going right, she can step in and she can cut away and cut out like those frenemies and things like that. She'd lose them quick. Two of Earth. And strength, some more fire. Great inner strength, release harsh judgments. Forgiveness and compassion should be exercised. Instead, strength represents the sign of Leo or other fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius. Two of Earth. And it's the Seven of Earth. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, and maybe unnecessary worry. So like just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean that it's not. And that could be why travel was the overall energy a moment ago, because like all of a sudden movement or movement in the background, maybe that's why it was going, the plane appeared to be traveling back. Movement in the background that you can't see, but there's no need for panic. There's still progression. And there could be progression in the areas of like this working very hard, trying to find balance in your life, trying to find time for work and play. You've been guided to be more playful. You've been guided to have some fun times in your life. And maybe you've been having difficulty, working that out and in that schedule. The Emperor is good at scheduling and at organizing his time and his life in general. So that may be where he showed up here. Two of Earth. I'm going to cut. But yes, that is another thing that the Two of Earth tends to mean for me. Like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, Jill a dull girl. More fire. It's the Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous is the Page of Fire. The Page also for me tends to be a Sagittarius, but can also be an Aries or Leo or someone with a lot of those traits or attributes, at least at the time. The Page of Fire is outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. And the overall energy is the Three of Earth. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. Three of Earth is about abundance. It's about abundance for which we've worked and like we're being recognized. The boss is recognizing us. It tends to be literal for me, like at work. You'll get some sort of recognition, maybe even of the financial nature, a raise, a bonus, promotion. And it's from the universe too. It has to do with ascension and elevation, being promoted in that sense for me, and maybe getting some material and or financial blessings as well as a result from the universe, gifts. Also, it can have to do with, well, threes often have something to do with a party of three for me, like the triangle that showed up here before. What I call a party of three, which is not necessarily romantic, but absolutely can be. And perhaps at work, having seen the 2 of earth and now the 3 of earth, perhaps it's somebody at your job that is the problem. Masculine, the 7 of air. Plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye and poor timing. This represents the energy of joy stealing for me. It also comes up with people and circumstances where there are trust issues. But yeah, joy stealing overwhelmingly, because it is a card of thievery, somebody trying to take something from you. But most often, whatever they're trying to take, and ultimately what they're trying to take is your peace from you, your happiness, your calm, your serenity, your vibration. So that's what's coming through. Masculine is surrounded by the 5 of water. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation and crying over spilled milk. And in his subconscious, the Tower with Archangel Chamuel, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. I was going to say something. I'm sure you can probably tell. The Tower and the 7 of air and the 5 of water is really a lot of like down and out in Beverly Hills kind of energy. Like just, again, this is people attempting to, or someone, some sort of energy attempting to take something from you, or you at least feeling that way. The 5 of water can be a card reflective of loss, but at the same time, it's like count your blessings, at least for me. Like, yeah, maybe that didn't work out, or you lost that thing, somebody stole that thing from you, but you still have XYZ. But then here, the Tower, and the placement is important too. I mean, it's in his subconscious, so it's in his mind here, the Tower. So maybe he's not really living the Tower, he just feels like he is. But I would say in this case, at least, because this can also be mental too, being a card of air. It may not actually be happening. He may just feel that way, that someone's trying to take something from him, or there's an energy trying to take something from him. Things aren't going his way, all of that. I'm going to go further. The feminine is crowned by the King of Air. The King of Air is brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. She is surrounded by the wheel with Archangel Michael, a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. The wheel represents the planet Jupiter for me, which is the planet of karma, luck, all that kind. Well, I don't believe in luck. The karma. But some people will believe luck. In any case, it rules the sign of Sagittarius. Fixed signs are also connected to this card and this energy for me. Leo, Sagittarius. I'm sorry, Leo. Sagittarius, yes, but not because it's a fixed sign. It's not a fixed sign. It's a mutable sign. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. And speaking of Taurus and the feminine subconscious, the 8 of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic and maybe even going back to school. The union is crowned by the Ace of Air. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation and maybe a challenging beginning. The Ace of Air can mean that. I always say it's a beginning nonetheless. And so, at least for me, it wouldn't be a mistake that it's crossing the 5 of water. Because again, it's like, okay, you may have lost something. You may have had a difficult time or whatever the case was. Because 5s can represent challenges and difficulty. But you're still here and you still got X, Y, Z. And that's sort of what the Ace of Air says to me. The card says a challenging beginning, but I always say a beginning nonetheless. Like you're getting to start fresh with something. So even if the truth was difficult to handle or hear or whatever the case was, you are getting a start. You know, what about all the people that didn't even wake up today that are not getting a start, period, ever again? You know, that sort of thing. The Ace of Air is also a card of victory. So I definitely think that a lot of it is about perspective and not being in your head with this kind of issue of trust issue and paranoia and things of that nature that can come with the 7 of Air. But changing your perspective, being more King of Air like and looking at all of the sides of a situation and making a more, fair and balanced determination, and then ridding yourself of what is, disserving to you and holding on to, what is serving and of value and appreciating that thing, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant to perhaps someone else. At the root here, the 8 of Water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth, which was reflective before. So sitting here next to the 8 of Earth, and which can be about schooling. For you, this can be like the school of life, the school of, experience. They say experience is the best teacher. You, on the feminine side, having some progress in your life, some elevation in your spirituality, your vibration, because of your experiences and what you've learned from them and your reactions to them, etc. Here at the heart of the matter, the Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Ace of Fire can certainly represent a new, just about a new anything about which you're passionate, a new choice. So it can be a new relationship that's going to be fiery and passionate and maybe hyper sexual or at least sensual even, because the fire or the wands can be seen as phallic, and they are about, again, what burns, what that burning desire. That's what they're about. Sitting here underneath the Ace of Air, it could certainly be a chance at a new relationship and or job that, like, it was climbing. It took some climbing, some work to get there. May even been somewhat painstaking, but you're here, you arrived. That's the victory, if that makes any sense. All right, I'm going to add some romance cards to this so we can see if we can get some more clarity too. Actually, sitting here next to the wheel, this can have something to do, again, with Jupiter. And there will be some activity soon in Jupiter, actually, in October. There is Jupiter in Scorpio, and Scorpio also attached to this. That could be a time when things really turn around for you in particular. All right, let me add some beginning with very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And opening to passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Very soon. Well, I wasn't looking at the time, but I'm not going to end your reading. I'm going to give you some romance cards. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Even though we had that first spread, which was also romantic, I want to do this too. Soulmate. And flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Well, first spread wasn't romantic. I mean, it was with regard to your romantic relationship. But I'm still doing this. Okay, flirt. So this is similar to that Two of Earth and the playful approach. Same type of idea. And honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Flirt. I'll go one more. It's passion again. So on this note, I'll definitely cut. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. We came full circle on that. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. The overall energy is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Here atop the Seven of Air, codependency. So there's definitely a negative situation here, a toxic situation, and this may be the answer. You know, this may be answer enough. Because I don't like to sell anybody on anything I do. Although I wish the entire world would get the divine light cleanse. You know, I try not to push too hard. And you and I had actually had this conversation. But I think that the masculine's column here since the beginning has shown that he could use some help in the area of his energy. And now we have codependency here attached to this Seven of Air. Addictions are affecting your romantic life, and this can be to any person, place, or thing. It's not necessarily substance abuse, which is, you know, often what the first thing people think about. It doesn't have to have anything to do with that, but he's tied to there's something toxic, and it's draining him of his joy, of his peace. Okay, so that it needs to go. It's making him very down. Even here, in connection to romantic feelings, he's not necessarily realizing, you know, the value and what he has. That he, you know, you have these feelings. Well, good. You have also the opportunity to address them, because you got these two cups standing here. But this is about, you know, being worried about what was lost and what you don't have. So it's the wrong focus. His perspective definitely needs to be, you know, worked on and changed. Here atop the tower, in this section of, you know, this position placement of his subconscious, is this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek, and maybe that has knocked him down, you know, in a sense, metaphorically. Sometimes love knocks you down, like that song with Carrie Hilson and Kanye West. I know I've felt like that many times, like, you know, whoa, like this came out of nowhere. I wasn't planning on having romantic feelings. I wasn't planning on falling in love, and now I do, and now what? Like maybe I'm tied up in something, or at least I feel like I am. So I need to rid myself of that if I'm going to be able to embrace this at all, right? For you, the King of Air, stay optimistic about your love life, which is very King of Airish. That is the King of Air way. Again, they look at all the parameters of a situation and try to be as fair and reasonable and diplomatic about it all. So that's what you would do. The positive side. What I wish the masculine would do, like stop being so pessimistic. I wish he would be more optimistic, but you're guided to. Positive thinking and faith is what is going to bring you romance. and everything else. That's just the way the law of attraction works, period. Not just in regard to romance. Here atop the wheel, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So you've got positive energy surrounding you, and if you keep your thinking positive too, then why wouldn't that be the makings of a good chance and opportunity, which the Ace of Fire certainly represents, for you to address your and the masculine's romantic feelings. Here atop the Eight of Earth, finances and career. Well, that's what the Eight of Earth is all about. Finances and career, and being rewarded for your hard work, your efforts. As it relates to love and relationship, then I would say yes, you're still being rewarded for your efforts. You put effort into the relationship, you're going to get something out of it. But being connected, now that the romance angels have connected to the Eight of Earth, to finances and career, then I would say that in your case, or in this case right now, it is more so about money. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, and there will be improvement in that area. That's something else to stay optimistic about. I saw this card so many times as I was shuffling. This separation, time apart from your partner, is on the horizon. And I often feel that it's not about the couple, it's about somebody else. But in this case, I do feel that some distance, and I don't necessarily mean like long periods of time, like, oh my God, separation, I'm not going to see him for a month. That's not what I mean. To me, separation, and to the angels, to the universe, time is relative, first of all. Like it doesn't even exist, many would argue. Separation can be a moment, a fleeting moment that you need to yourself in order to at least have enough time for a light bulb to go off and ding, okay, now I know what I was supposed to be doing, and I can change my perspective, I can change my life or whatever. The masculine definitely needs a moment to change his life and his view of it. And sitting here atop the Ace of Air, there's no one better to do that than the Ace of Air, or no energy with which to do that than that of the Ace of Air. Yeah, retreat. And this is the Eight of Water, is about the need to at least take some temporary time, a desire to move on because you're on a search for something more meaningful. This is like that where am I, who am I, what am I type of thing. And I think the masculine may be in part going through that. So needing a break from the world, again, even if that means a moment, even if that means you guys keep in communication, like we saw the communication card, but at times he needs to pull away and be to himself. So it's not that he's not speaking to you anymore, but he does need to, like that, at a minimum, that's going to be necessary for him. And you take the time too. Like, don't just sit on your hands while during these periods of separation. They're meant for us all to work on ourselves. And that's why also this Eight of Water, it's not like on his side. It's sitting here in between the two of you at the root. This is for both of you to do. At the heart of the matter, atop the Ace of Fire, who's like the Ace of Love, period, the Ace of Romance. I've said many times, like the fire signs water is about love and emotion. And for example, like the Knight of Water. The Knight of Water, if I had to imagine like a knight, a prince, standing outside my window, serenading me, and that sort of thing, like being super, super romantic and loving, it would be the Knight of Water. However, where it comes to like that kind of romantic, like the Prince Charming and saving the day and all that kind of stuff, to me that's the Knight of Fire, and the King of Fire, the Ace of Fire. That's where the passion is so raw and yeah, burning, burning. It's fire. So if anybody's going to bring you love, it would be that. Also, Archangel Chamuel, who is the Archangel of unconditional love and of money, which this crosses too, he's Cupid, basically, too. He's Cupid. He's the Ace of Fire. So if he's showing up here to appear in your reading, it is to help you in both of those areas, the unconditional love because you deserve love, and to help you to improve your finances because that's what he does. And Cupid, of course, Venus's son. And Venus also, similarly, the goddess of love and money, but she's an ace of air. So it's like you got the two of them here. You've got Venus and her son, Cupid, here to work in both your romantic life and your finances. The masculine, the queen of earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible is the queen of earth. She's also a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. She can be Venus in her other vibration because Venus, again, rules both earth, as in the sign of Taurus, but also Libra, and she's the esoteric ruler of Gemini. Both of those, of course, air signs. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So he's guided to move in a more warm and compassionate place as opposed to this maybe rigid sort of thinking and feeling with all that air surrounding him. And, nothing against air. It just is what it is. I myself am an air sun. I'm a Gemini and an air moon. I'm an Aquarius. So not knocking air signs for anybody out there that's like, hey, it is what it is. I mean, you got to keep it real with yourself first and foremost. For you, the king of fire, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic is the king of fire. Focus, and communicate with vision. Be a leader like Aries, like the emperor that came through. Organize yourself, organize your space, organize your time, organize your life. Find time for fun and work and play. And take advice from someone creative. And lastly, for the masculine, attraction, which goes very nicely with his romantic feelings and the thought that this could be the one. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And for you, engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, which is, again, what I was talking about with relation to the three of earth. The power of creativity, very high quality work. You're being promoted by the universe, elevated, ascended. That's what that is. The whole union is. When I picked up the three of earth, I have to tell you, pointing in the same direction, underneath it is awakening with Archangel Gabriel, which is the hangman, a temporary energy where we are guided to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, maybe king of air style. However, awakening represents the sign of Pisces, at least for me, because it represents the planet Neptune. So it can be like we're having trouble figuring out what's going on around us, but we have an opportunity to retreat and maybe take our time, looking at it from all angles. But it's also another number 3. So again, perhaps indicative of a party of 3 of some sorts. This would be your third 3 if we include the triangle card that showed up here before. And also pointing in the same direction underneath that, the Queen of Water, who is a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, most often a Scorpio, maybe older. But Scorpio being one of those mature signs that we saw before too, mature man, mature woman, relationships develop to a new level. So this is similar to engagement. Trust your intuition, even when it's taking a step back and looking. Again, this represents Pisces, so that could be trust your intuition when taking this step back and being the hangman. Care for yourself and others. This is very Queen of Earth, this care for yourself and others. So it's bringing all of those things together at the same time here for you. Oh, and I wanted to give you from here too. Let me do that. For the masculine, freedom. He's got to break away from whatever this is. Okay. There's, again, some energy that is toxic and that is like trying to pull him down with it by draining him of his joy, his peace. You ever heard of energy vampires? That's what this is. He's got to pull away from whatever this is or whomever this is. And for you, Ice Queen, This could be Venus again. I think, it doesn't have to, it looks a little bit cold, but that's how we can be sometimes. Ice Queen, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. We can sometimes be like that. But at the same time, Venus, like it or not, the rest of the world, they might say, like, why would somebody so, an air sign be the queen of love? Well, it is what it is. The positives and the negatives, we got to take them and we got to deserve it. And since Venus already appeared to be showing up here in your reading as the ace of air, and along with her son, here to grant you unconditional love and improvement in your finances, I think that that's what this is too. Like just another reminder that Mother is here to help to resolve all of this. I hope that you enjoy your reading and that you find it helpful. Namaste, Angel.